Newsflash takes off with the airline operators of Nigeria's call on the federal government to urgently review all the existing bilateral air service agreement (BASA) signed between Nigeria and other countries. This comes on the heels of the entry of South African Airways into the FCT Abuja. Nigeria currently has bilateral air service agreements with about 80 countries, 29 of which is active, 16 of them in Africa, 7 in Europe, 5 in the Middle East and Asia, and the United States. The airline operators believe the review is important since most of the buses are not being reciprocated by Nigerian airlines, and it's necessary for the buses to be mutually beneficial. On the foreign scene, one protester has been killed and several injured after security personnel clashed with employees of Pakistan's national airline in Karachi earlier in the week. The clashes came as hundreds of airline employees on strike gathered in Karachi in the latest of a month-long series of protests against government plans to privatize Pakistan International Airline. Police used water cannon and tear gas to keep the crowd from marching towards Jinnah International Airport, while the paramilitary opened fire. While a Rangers spokesman and the police have denied any use of firearms, a representative of the Aga Khan University Hospital said one protester was brought to Karachi Hospital. Having died of gunshot wounds, 10 other injured protesters, including one with a gunshot wound, had been taken to a government hospital. The police also gathered bullet casings from the scene to determine the weapons used. Despite the strike in Karachi and at PIA offices across Pakistan, flights operated on schedule on Tuesday. Pakistan International Airlines, once a source of pride for Pakistan, is making losses as the carrier's flights are frequently cancelled. The government has sought to allay fears that it could bring mass layoffs, but sporadic protests have continued. Prime Minister Nawaz Sharif on Monday, February the 1st, extended by 6 months legislation that effectively restricts the carrier's employees from striking, with infringements resulting in prison terms as well as fines. Now to the United States of America, where Boeing 737 MAX aircraft took off on its first flight from a wet tarmac at an airport south of Seattle, marking another step towards scheduled delivery to airlines in 2017. A Boeing company video showed the takeoff of the airplane, the fourth version of the original 737, which made its first flight in 1967. It features new engines from CFM International, a joint venture of General Electric and Safran SA of France. Boeing has sold 3,072 of the planes and is racing to sell more as it battles for market share against rival Airbus's competing A320neo, A320neo, which earlier this month was delivered to its first customer. A news flash winds down with the world's longest non-stop regular flight paths, scheduled to be operated by Dubai-based Emirates. The daily direct service from Dubai in the UAE and Panama City on the Pacific coasts of Central America will take an incredible 17 hours and 37 minutes heading west over North Africa and the Atlantic Ocean. The Boeing 777-200LR aircraft will cover a distance of approximately 8,580 miles, carrying 256 passengers.
Traveling by air can be one of the most exciting things to do, and it remains the fastest mode of transportation in the world. Airplanes, which are used to fly from one place to another, can carry people to other continents, countries, and across the oceans within hours. With all the new aeronautical technology and advanced engineering that we have these days, the list of aircraft types and models continues to grow. Our future shows which are commonly bought by airlines, but in no particular order. First, the Boeing 747, which is commonly known as the jumbo jet and queen of the skies. Its distinctive hump upper deck along the forward part of the aircraft makes it among the world's most recognizable aircraft. Some airlines use it for commercial flights, while others utilize the plane for cargo. It is also the base model of Air Force One. It is deserving of the number one position because a lot of airline companies rely on this plane. First flown commercially in 1970, the 747 held the passenger capacity record for 37 years. The 747-400 is the most common passenger version in service. And the largest operators include Singapore Airlines, Japan Airlines, and British Airways with 57 as of June 2013. The next is the Boeing 777, commonly referred to as the 777. The aircraft can accommodate about 300 to 500 passengers. It is one of the best options, especially for airline companies that provide international flights. One advantage this aircraft offers is that it has turbofan engines, 6 wheels on each main landing gear, fully circular fuselage cross-section, and a blade-shaped tail cone, all adding to its better flight and movement. Developed in consultation with 8 major airlines, the 777 was designed to replace older wide-body airliners and bridge the capacity difference between Boeing 767 and Plus 747. As Boeing's first fly-by-wire airliner, it has computer-mediated controls. It is also the first entirely computer-aided designed commercial aircraft. Another is the Boeing 737, a short to medium-range twin-jet narrow-body airliner whose family continues to grow. Most of the passenger models have a capacity of 85 to 215 passengers, The 737 is Boeing's only narrow-body airliner in production, with the -700, -800, and -109er variants currently being built. A re-engined and redesigned version, the 737 MAX, is set to debut in 2017. The 737 series is the best-selling jet commercial airliner. The 737 has been continuously manufactured by Boeing since 1967, with 8,636 aircraft delivered. Most 737 cockpits are equipped with eyebrow windows positioned above the main glare shield. Eyebrow windows were a feature of the original 707 and 727. They allowed for greater visibility in turns and offered better sky views if navigating by stars. With modern avionics, they became redundant. Many 737s serve various markets. Then finally, the Boeing 787, also called the Dreamliner. The aircraft was introduced for commercial flight primarily due to its fuel efficiency. Its variants seat 242 to 335 passengers in typical three-class seating configurations. It is Boeing's pioneering airliner with the use of composite materials as the primary material in the construction of its airframe. Even the engineering for the interior focused on saving power and improving the flight experience by maximizing the use of 4-panel windshields, using noise reduction techniques for the engine, and a whole lot of other innovations. It shares a common type rating with the larger Boeing 777 to allow qualified pilots to operate both models.
This is where our flight terminates on this edition, and thanks so much for your mails. Please do keep them coming via our feedback platform. I'm Bukola Joketumbi. Next week is another date.